look at all the different clay tools that you're going to be using. We'll start here with our clay slab rollers. They're in this big box and they look something like this. There's these kind here, and then there's this. They all work the same. You also have small dowels. You'll need these when you're rolling a slab. We have clay. I'll have this cut for you, ready to go. We have clay knives, clay forks, there's plastic and metal ones, both work the same. Here we have some different tools for making texture and other things into your clay. This is a clay sponge. This is not for cleaning, this is for clay. You have some wood tools here you might need to use, and slip, watered down clay. Clay mat. This is where you will do all of your working. Your clay must stay on this mat. I'm going to show you how to make a slab. To start your coil pot, you need to have a slab, which is a flat piece of clay, for the bottom of your pot to build coils on top of. So to make that slab, you are going to need some tools. You're going to need a clay mat, which is what your clay will stay on. You're going to need a piece of clay. You're going to need two dowel rods. You're going to need a clay roller, either this or this, either way. You're going to need a clay knife and a pencil. You're going to start by putting these to the side of your clay. You can smush it down a little bit, but not too much. And you're going to use the clay roller. These are going to keep your clay from getting too thin. So roll it out. I like to turn my clay to get a more round shape. And roll it out. And then you're going to cut a shape out of this. This will be the bottom of your coil pot. So whatever shape you'd like. A circle is pretty easy to go with if you want an oval or maybe like a triangle. I'm going to just use this cup to make a circle bottom. You can freehand it, or if you want to trace a shape, that's fine. I'm going to use my pencil to just gently press into the clay. I'm not pressing hard into the clay, just a little bit to make a line so I know where to make my cut. So I can take that off. I can see my circle. I'm going to get my clay knife. You're going to hold this kind of like you hold a pencil. Might be difficult to do. Doing this, you don't have as much control. And you want to make sure your knife is straight up and down like this. Don't turn it sideways. You'll get an uneven edge. So I'm going to carefully go around. And I'm going to turn my clay. Going all the way around, turning my clay. And when I get back to the beginning, I can pull this off. I can use this later. And I have a slab. This will be the bottom of my coil pot. It's nice and even all the way around, and it's nice and flat. This will make a great bottom to my coil pot. Now that you have a slab for the bottom of your pot, you're ready to start adding your coils. You are going to need a clay mat to work on. You're going to need a cup of slip, a fork, and maybe some kind of tool. This wood tool looks good for me. You're going to get some extra clay here, and you're going to start making a coil. A coil is a long rope-like piece of clay. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of smushing it into like a hot dog kind of shape, and then I'm ready to roll my coil. When you're rolling your coil, you want to go all the way from your fingertips to the palm of your hand. So you're rolling it all the way to the palm, pressing evenly. You have to press down on the clay. If you're only rolling it like this, you're gonna end up with a flat piece of coil instead of a round one. You want a round coil. That's going to make the best coil pot. That's going to be supported and stick together better. So I'm rolling it out. You want your coil to be about the size of your pinky or a pointer finger, not too thin and not too wide. So, I'm getting a nice coil here. This is a good size right here. I'm a little thick on this side, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll this part out a little bit. Pressing even all the way. If your coil gets too long, you can just cut part of it off. All right, I am ready to add this coil to my slab base. So what I'm gonna have to do is you're going to score and slip. Here's my fork. Scoring is when you're putting little marks into your clay. So I'm going to scratch it up. That's called scoring, scratching up the surface here. And I'm also going to scratch my coil. Make sure that you can see your scratch marks. This is what's going to make your coil stick to your base better. So now that I have that, I can go ahead and add a little bit of slip. Slip is just watered down clay, and this kind of helps glue the clay pieces together, keeps from getting air bubbles, and it just makes it stick way better. You can use your finger if you want. Careful not to smooth out your scratch marks. Then I'm going to press it gently right along the edge. Pressing. And don't worry about those scratch marks if you still see them, because we will smooth those out. And I'm going to, right here they overlap, so I'm going to just pinch that. I'm going to scratch it a little bit and smooth it out. And now I'm going to just take my finger and smooth out those coils very gently. I could also use a tool like this. Very carefully. Don't press into it very hard. You don't want to cut into the clay. Just smooth it out gently. And same with this side here. It's most important on this bottom layer to get a nice smooth bottom. That will support the rest of your coils. I've got it all smoothed out. I'm ready to add my next coil. So again, I'm gonna start with a nice piece of clay. I'm gonna make kind of like a hot dog shape. And I'm gonna roll it out. From my palm to my fingertips, all the way, pressing evenly to get a round coil. You don't want a flat coil, you want it to be round. Rolling it out.